The following is a live sports presentation of Glycod. GLICOD.com.
Glycod's coverage of Oldham High School's basketball starts now.
Good afternoon from South Oldham High School in Crestwood, and Happy New Year from Glycod.com. I'm Chris LeBar, along with former Oldham County boys basketball coach Gary Forrest. Welcome to a doubleheader. It's called the New Year's Classic. Waggener and North Oldham will tip at 6, followed at 7:30 by South Oldham and Butler. What are you looking for this afternoon, Gary?
Well, if you're North, what you're looking for is kind of get back on track and stuff. They've lost a couple of close games to really good opponents. And with youth, that's going to happen. So it's all about coming in here. They're going to play on a district floor, so they'll like that. If you're South Oldham, you're going to be tested by a really good Butler team. You know, this might be one of the premier games in the state tonight because you could argue a point that both of these teams in their respective regions maybe have a shot to get out.
North Oldham is 8-6, as Gary mentioned. They lost to Butler last night, 58-56, and the Mustangs now 2-2 in games decided by 3 points or less.
Yeah, very much so. Very well coached. They're senior, junior oriented. That's what you like to see about a team that's going to be successful.
Waggener Wildcats struggling a little bit. They've lost 6 in succession. The Wildcats are 3-7. What do you make of this team at this point of the season?
Well, if you're Waggener, you're really young. They only have 2 seniors in their entire program. So it's starting with youth, and with youth, you're going to live with turnovers. And hopefully as time goes on, you grow. Coach Neal's been there for a while, so he understands that it's an every-year occurrence for him. And, you just have to have strong patience.
We'll chat with David Levitch, the head North Oldham boys coach in year 7. He'll connect with our Gary Forrest on the other side of this pause from Glycod.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard. Do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in, like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right, Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
This edition of Coach's Comments is brought to you by Anderson Sales and Service in Crestwood, making your life easier with quality products and quality service. Find out more at andersonsales.com.
Gary Forrest coming to you live from South Oldham High School for tonight, game number 1, North Oldham versus Waggener. I'm here with Coach Dave Levitz. Coach, you know, it's the after Christmas blues and we start the real season now. You know, tell us a little bit about your team, how things are going.
Things are going okay. We're just a young, inexperienced team. We only have really 2 guys now that played a lot last year, so we've had some really good wins, and we've had some games like yesterday against Butler that we threw away at the end with turnovers, but they're getting better. They're learning. We play a lot of young guys, so they're getting a lot of experience. Hopefully when, like you said, the real season starts now with games every 3 days after today, we can get better in practice and games leading up to the district games. Coach, you played a great preseason, and even though they're young, that's got to bear fruit for you as time goes on. Yeah, I always try to play really tough competition, especially when you play in the tournament like King and Bluegrass. You're playing teams like Adair County, Frederick Douglass, South Laurel, out-of-state team that lost in the final, so we played 4 really, really good teams. Even in Henry County, we played some good teams. So, I'm just looking forward to seeing how much better this team can hopefully get by middle of January, because we do have a lot of talent. All right, tell us, if you will, a little bit about your 5 starters tonight. Our point guard, our 2 guards are Brooks Cargold, senior, plays really hard, good shooter. He's one of the guys that played a lot last year. And then our leading scorers are 2 guard, Austin Sears. He's a freshman. He hasn't shot well recent, but it's being a year, first 6 or 7 games, he was on fire. So hopefully he can come back to shooting the ball well, really good player. Our 3-man is Gray Schmidl, really good football player, plays with a ton of energy. That's the other guy who really only played last year. It's just him and Brooks. We look for him for energy. Our 4-man is a sophomore, Tommy Gregg. He's really come on this year. He didn't even start freshman basketball last year, and he's started every game this year. He's a really, really, really good player with a lot of ability, good shooter. And then our 5-man is Colin Daniels, also our quarterback, transferred from Cal. He's been really good for us, really strong, good rebounder. That's really helped our team a lot. Coach, things you've got to do tonight for your team to be successful? Basically the 2 things that have hindered us all year: take care of the ball and rebound. We've given up so many offensive rebounds and bad turnovers this year. If we can just somehow limit our turnovers to under 11 or 12 in games, we'd have a lot better chances and wouldn't be putting ourselves in positions at the end of games like this. But like I said a few times, it's a young team, so hopefully that's something we can build on. Well, you heard of Coach Dave Levitz, where tonight this North Oldham Mustangs will play host here in South Oldham to the Waggener Wildcats. This is Gary Forrest for Glycod.com Sports.
Not just blind. Blind to rent, not just blind.
Definitely. That's competition. Check it. Ooh.
Need a better battery? Get an Interstate battery. Outrageously dependable.
Should have had an Interstate.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
Glycod on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Glycod.
Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy in Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
This broadcast is authorized by South Oldham High School with production rights owned by Glycod Media. Our aim is to provide the most positive representation for all student athletes, coaches, and game personnel. Thank you for watching. Starting lineups presented by our great partners at Mortensen Family Dental. A healthy smile means a healthier you. Visit Mortensen Dental to locate an office near you. For the Wildcats, Krishad Bethel leads them in scoring at 17 points per game. Will Effinger, 12 points, and a team-leading 9 rebounds. They'll be joined by Jamal Remio, Gavin Salings, and Leo McQuarrie. Starters for this North Oldham team. It is a very young team, Gary, as we take a look at their starters.
Very much so. Learning on the job, but it's a nice nucleus to have.
Mustang starters with Austin Steers and Brooks Cargould, Gray Schmidl, Tommy Gregg, and Colin Daniels. So glad you joined us live tonight from South Oldham High School for a doubleheader. Butler and South Oldham will follow that game, tip around 7:30 Eastern.
Waggener immediately in a 2-3 zone, going to pack it in against the Mustangs.
There's an open three going to swirl out for Cargould as Wagner's Leo McQuarrie will bring it across the timeline.
Little 1-3-1 action by the Mustangs. Wagner's stats don't indicate that they shoot the ball well from the outside, so right now the Mustangs going to see how that works.
Yeah, 29% three-point shooting team. Schmidl got a hand on that ball. There's number 2, Austin Sears, and it's poked away and stolen. Nice overplay by Will Effinger for Wagner. There's McQuarrie losing the handle. Yeah, the freshman Austin Sears, he's really been a revelation for this team this year, averaging 17 points a game, and he's got it on the right wing.
Well, it's very seldom that you can have a freshman come into the varsity and be as effective as he has been at this point.
Cargould's missed his first 2 threes as the long rebound out to Sears. Cargould, great pass underneath and kissed in by Tommy Gregg. Gregg, a 6'4 sophomore who you heard Coach Levitch mention really didn't play at all last year as a freshman.
I saw him 2 weeks ago over at Henry County, and for a sophomore, he's got a really nice stroke. He's a rangy kid, and as you mentioned, Coach Levitz had nothing but positive things to say about him.
Wildcat ball outside court. This is a team averaging only 54 points per game. Conversely, North at 66. And poked away, nice overplay. Stolen by Schmidl ahead to Sears, and he'll kiss it home.
Well, once again, a little zone pressure, trapped him, turned him, the old trap and slap, and they were able to get a run out. 1-3-1 again this time down the floor by the Mustangs.
Jamel Remio rifles it inside Effinger. A strong take for the conversion. Effinger season high 20 versus Doss, which coincidentally was their last win some 6 games ago.
Effinger, an in-the-paint type of player. Nice strong body. Doesn't go outside the paint very much.
Sears pulling the trigger on a deep 3.
Well, besides being a point guard, Sears an excellent perimeter shooter. He's trapping right now, trying to put pressure on the pass.
There's Remio finding Effinger in tight confines.
Really don't even look to shoot the outside shot. There's not a lot of confidence in there. Everything's penetration, look to kick.
And Effinger had that ball rattle out as Gray Schmidl out with it for North Oldham. A 7-2 beginning for the Mustangs, 3.5 minutes gone by. There's Tommy Gregg, number 13 on the handle for North. See what Sears can do. Daniels back to Sears. Really good ball movement by the Mustangs.
Just probing, looking for that weak spot. Against 2-3, they'll look to get in a high-low set. Flash a man into the middle.
Wide open 3. Tommy Gregg with a connection.
Showed great patience and rewarded by the good shot.
Gray Schmidl with the assist. North Oldham off to an 8-point lead. And Gary, just noticing this, looking down at the Waggener sideline, they don't have but maybe 3 players as a reserve right now.
It's a hard numbers to deal with. They're that school that if they have good players, mysteriously the next year they disappear and reemerge at another school, usually in Jefferson County.
They might have 7 or 8 players total, at least at this point.
And it's hard to build anything.
Stolen away by Schmidl. He's been very active defensively. Sears flanks for a 3. Poked up, and Daniels corralling and putting it back. And a Waggener 30-second timeout. A 12-2 North Oldham lead. We'll step aside, be right back after this from Glycod.
Not just blinds. Blinds Direct, not just blinds.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Nice start, Gary, for North, plus 10.
Yeah, very much so. Don't beat yourself. Let your opponent beat themselves. And that's kind of the rule they're living in right now with youth. And as time goes on, they're going to get better and better.
Good to see Rajon Rondo walk by. Had a chance to chat with him last week at the Butler Eastern game where his jersey was put up in the rafters. And we'll see his son here early with Rajon Pierre Rondo for North Oldham. Strong take. McQuarrie got the roll. Nice adjustment out of the timeout by head coach Brian O'Neill. And Rondo there on the handle.
Rondo, the above-mentioned 7th grader. He's been around basketball all his short life.
And Schmidl off the mark from the corner. As Waggener trying to reduce this 8-point deficit. Wildcats 3-7 coming in. And Effinger, that was Rondo, a little pesky overplay and turnover for North Oldham.
Rondo did a great job defensively, digging down from up top, got a hand on the ball. There's Sears for another 3.
Trailing 3, Austin Sears with 8 points. And a 15-4 North Oldham early advantage.
Well, from the outset, this looks like one of those games that North can play and play a lot of kids to get better.
And Rondo active again. Outlet pass, Schmidl leaking out. McQuarrie hustles to deflect it, but following and cleaning it up is Brooks Cargould.
Still in the 1-3-1, Rondo on top. Now they're mixing it up a little bit. 2-3 when it crosses half court.
There's Heffinger releasing from the foul line. And Daniels just ripping that ball away from McQuarrie. Rondo creasing baseline. Sears again for a three. And a rebound secured by number 0, Krishad Bethel for Waggener. And the Wildcats being bothered by this active hands, and a foul whistled on Rajon Pierrondo.
Lots of mass subs during these early minutes, and I think we can look to see that throughout the game, Chris.
Got Noah Peebles on the floor for the first time for Waggener. He'll wear number 11, averaging 5 points per game. As North Oldham bringing on big 6'5" sophomore David Bradley. Also Tommy Craig is back in. But a really solid start, Gary, for North after the disappointing loss last night.
Well, very much so. You know, they played up in their opponent last night and were a blink away from beating a very good Butler team.
It's poked away and ricocheted around there. It's Bradley out with it for North with 15 seconds in this first quarter. Gus Soul on the floor. He'll handle it up top for North as Rondo now with the handle. And now but 5 seconds. Driving baseline. Gus Soul at 1, and that's going to wrap up the end of the first. North Oldham, a great 8-minute beginning. They lead 17-4. You're watching Glycod.com.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
A solid start for North Oldham. They lead 17-4. Reminder, Butler South Oldham will tip off around 7:30 Eastern. We'll talk at halftime with Coach Forrest, pick his brain a bit. He saw Oldham County last night, so we'll get your dissection on all three county teams that you've seen here in the last 24 hours. And now Rondo at the teeth of that defense.
Once again, everything they've done on the half court, they've tried to put pressure on the ball out front, and Waggener not doing a very good job handling that pressure. Another turnover.
And Gus Soul, the sophomore, will handle it up top for North. Rondo funneling it down. That's a nice grab by David Bradley. Now Eli Green, he's got Dallas Roberts' old number. That's number 1. As Rondo navigating baseline. Freeing up an open three. That was off the mark from Soul. And the rebound snatched by Leo McQuarrie of Waggener. That's Remio lost the handles. He tried a crease baseline. And McQuarrie with the theft in the open field for Waggener, and he'll take it up and in. McQuarrie with 4 of the Wildcats' 6.
Waggener coming out with a little pressure up top twice in a row. Errant passes by the Mustangs.
Remio Evinger, a nice catch in the open floor, and he'll float it out off the backboard, and possession back to North.
Turnover number 7 for the Wildcats.
As Rondo will take it across. What is his role with this offense, Gary?
Right now, he's a point guard. Like so many young, athletic kids, he has all the physical tools. One thing he may be lacking, it's early yet, is how well he shoots the ball. But right now, he's a setup guy. He's very clever with the ball.
Case in point, Effinger. A lot of length blocking that shot. It will belong to the Mustangs. We take one more look at this Leo McQuarrie fast break. Rather, that was the turnover. I beg your pardon. As the Mustangs leading 17-6. There's Bradley just inside the arc. And cleaned up on the backside by Effinger, number 5 of Waggener, as he bulldozes his way into front court. And a foul whistled on number 5.
Foul on number 5, Judy Effinger, his first, team's first. Returning to the game for North, number 15, Colin Daniels.
So Colin Daniels entering the fray for North.
As we mentioned earlier, Chris, this is a perfect opportunity for Coach Levitt to play a lot of kids tonight. He's been very good with rotating them in and out. Right now he's played 9 kids. We're just early second quarter.
Now Rondo inside the teeth of that defense. Gregg elevating from 15. That's long. And the rebound again snatched by Will Effinger of Waggener. And he's going to fumble it out of bounds. Got 4 more North Oldham players coming in, all of whom started this game. Sears, Schmidl, Cargould amongst them. And Sears at the top for North. Schmidl eyes a 3, and the rebound occupied by Leo McQuarrie of Waggener. Mustangs scoreless in the first 3 minutes of this quarter. Noah Peebles has that 3 swirl out. Effinger attacking the backboard, ripped away. That's Grace Schmidl. Cargould flashing it over and drained by Oakland Shear. A 6'3 sophomore Shear, now 5 out of 10 off the bench from three-point range. Effinger, nice inside the teeth of that defense. That was well done against the zone.
Very much so. Waggener staying, they're limited, so they're going to play a lot of zone. Nice entry pass inside for the dunk.
And Colin Daniels with his first field goal. 14-point North Oldham lead. And Bethel skips it in the near corner to Peebles. There's McQuarrie. He's been very active in this game baseline. Now Bethel muscles it up, got the roll, and a Mustang foul.
Once again, everything in the paint for Waggener to be successful. There, Bethel was able to get his shoulders beyond the defensive player, knocks down the bucket, and gets fouled.
Take a look at the preceding play against this zone. Get back to that here as we get back to live action, and the free throw stays in.
Waggener trying to extend pressure out a little bit. But with North coming back to mostly their starters, you can look for them to handle that
Good hustle interjecting in the passing lane. That was Arion Roach, number 15, 6'1" sophomore, that deflected it out of bounds. Nice response by Waggener to reduce the deficit to 11.
You know, they have their runs. They just chip away. You know, the scary thing is with the limited number of players they have is when fatigue starts to set in.
It's a crafty basket and an and one. Points 9 and 10 for Austin Sears, the freshman.
Well, he's a point guard, a la a shooter as well.
Does he remind you at this age and stage of Dallas Roberts at all?
A little bit. I think maybe Dallas was a little more physical at this stage. But, you know, physicality from the point guards, you know, sometimes that's a moot point.
Yes, Sears averaging 17 as a freshman. And the lead grows back to 13. Bethel on the bounce through contact. Stays in.
Nice shooter's roll for Bethel.
Kershot averages 17, his first field goal. Back to 11. Yes, Cargould veering left. And there's the three for Gray Schmidl. Excellent ball movement by North Oldham as they enjoy now their longest lead at 14. And a held ball, or rather a reach-in foul. It'll stay Waggener. Foul on Oakland Shear. As Tommy Gregg, number 13, checks back in for North Oldham, and we're going to have a Waggener 30-second timeout. Wildcat possession on the other side of this pause from Glycod.
Supporters of Oldham County High School's athletics. Robin Lawson and Financial Solutions Incorporated have been recognized over a dozen times as Oldham County's best financial planner. Robin and his team provide individuals and small businesses the tools needed to achieve their financial goals because they care not just about the result, but also the process. Visit their office in LaGrange at 309 West Jefferson Street or learn more online at oldhamfinancial.com. Financial Solutions Incorporated. Clarity for your financial future.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Alongside former Oldham County boys basketball coach Gary Forrest, I'm Chris LeBar, and welcome back to South Oldham High School. First of two, with South Oldham, the home team, taking on Butler in the nightcap around 7:30 Eastern. Right now we've got Waggener and North Oldham. Stolen away.
South staying in the zone, trapping the ball, and having success.
Schmidl with the assist, setting up Brooks Cargould for his first made three.
Well, that leads to the run out.
5 3-point field goals in this quarter, and the lead now swells to 17.
Well, North able to substitute freely, just throwing bodies at Waggener, and as a result, I think we're seeing a little bit of fatigue right now.
Daniels bothering that effort from Effinger. And the rebound for North Oldham. Sears got a whistle right before the release. It's a 30-second pause. We'll keep things here as North Oldham will have possession here coming out of the timeout. So the Mustangs leading by 17. They led by 13, 17-4 after one. And not really a surprise. This is a polished North Oldham team. And you talk with Coach, they've really been challenged by their early schedule.
I really think so. And, you know, this is the time of year it starts to come together, particularly for teams with youth. You know, North's playing a lot of sophomores. You know, punching a couple of freshmen and even a seventh grader. You know, by this time they've got in 12 games or so, and as a result, they're into that second season, and you can start to see the improvement.
Going to be Mustang possession. North is due to play again on Tuesday versus Trinity, but of course that game fluid with all of the expected weather coming in.
You sound like the weatherman. Yeah, this time of year, everybody's always watching the weather. January is when it slips in.
There's Daniels at the elbow. Cargould could not get that to go, and Daniels, all that length, he's going to deflect it off. I believe it touched Will Effinger, number 5, last of Waggener.
Well, Daniels, he's big and he's strong, so it gives him the notch. He's bigger than any kid that Waggener has. Still playing a little football out there as he goes.
Skip pass, wide open 3. That's Tommy Gregg.
I'm going to tell you, Chris, off the bat, I just think Gregg has a world of positivity ahead of him. He's come such a long way from last year, and he's young.
Only a sophomore. 8 points on the evening, averages 9. There's Effinger through contact. Pinballed around, and Daniels securing the rebound as the Mustangs plus 20 in the remnants of this first half. Daniels, Gregg underneath, and great hustle to deflect that. That's Krishad Bethel. And a layup off the mark. Effinger follows. And finally secured by North. It's Gregg. And the Mustangs content to hold it for 1. Rondo floating it in the corner to Gus Soule. Rondo cutting, left-handed layup is in.
See, there's the things that Rondo does. As a 7th grader, you don't teach. That's innate ability right there. He saw the open middle, flashed in there, received it, and followed through. Use the left hand on the left side. Little things like that.
Well, and for the Mustangs as well to take the final 20 seconds off the timer and score right at half. They lead Waggener 35-13. We'll step aside. More basketball coverage live from South Oldham High School right after this timeout from Glycod.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy in Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Waterson Trail in Louisville.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Oldham County Solid Waste Management. Find out how to recycle or dispose of any item with Waste Wizard at oldhamcountyky.gov under Solid Waste Management.
Back live in Crestwood, North Oldham on top of Waggener 35-13. Chris Labar along with Gary Forrest. Been a really solid couple of quarters for the Mustangs.
Yeah, it's just what they need. You've gone through Christmas, played a lot of kids. Some of them getting tired. The everyday routine of practice is starting to get old a little bit. So to get out and have a couple of games as we start the new year to get them ready for the bulk of their schedule.
Mustangs unofficially makers of 6 3-point field goals in the first half. Austin Sears with 10, Tommy Gregg with 8. But just really the balance and the way they've spread the ball on the field has been very impressive.
Well, not only that, they kept the turnovers to a minimum. You know, as a coach, those are things that you look for. You know, a lot of times kids sometimes get away from the we thing and start talking about the me thing this time of year. And it's great to see that they played as a team.
We knew it would be a tall order for Brian O'Neill and Waggener coming into this. What are some positives they can take away from the first half?
Well, they've continued to play hard. There was a little spell right toward the end of the first quarter when North had subbed some kids in. They made a little bit of run, but when the North came back with a lot of their starters, you could see they had fallen back a little bit. And the bottom line is when you've only got about 7 players dressed, you know, you've got to be really careful allocating time because of those 7, maybe not all of them are good basketball players.
Nightcap will be Butler versus South Oldham. Again, a tip around to 7:30 or so, Gary. Excuse me, 2 really good teams in that game.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing. You know, I think South is kind of the team that's flying under the radar in the 8th region. You and I talked earlier about the teams that we had seen and such, and haven't seen them about 5 times now. They're for real. And one of the things they're doing now that they haven't always done as effectively in the past is they play really good, solid defense. They've always been offensively oriented. They continue to be that. But their defense has shown the ability now to maybe push them up that higher level.
Dragons led by Julian Miles, 22 points per game, and also 48% from three-point range.
Well, not only that, I think he's that catapult of their defense. You know, he's a football kid that plays basketball, and he takes some of those football things, such as just being tough and gritty, and he displays that on the court. And I think sometimes his teammates look at it and say, hey, that could work for me as well.
Butler is 11-1. They defeated this North Oldham group last night 58-56 in 4 double-figure scores for Coach Kevin Geary's group.
Well, I've seen them 4 times this year, and they're very well coached. Their kids are hard-nosed, yet they understand basketball. And saw them earlier in the year against Eastern, you know, and Eastern in a rebuilding sort of year, they jumped out to a big lead, and a lot of times when teams do that, they get sloppy. Eastern came back a little bit, but Butler was able to turn the screws and just keep the margin where they wanted it.
In this one, North Oldham leading Waggener 35-13 at the half. Second half on the way back from Glycott.
Be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in, like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right, Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life. Proud supporters of Oldham County High School's athletics. Robin Lawson and Financial Solutions Incorporated have been recognized over a dozen times as Oldham County's best financial planner. Robin and his team provide individuals and small businesses the tools needed to achieve their financial goals, because they care not just about the result, but also the process. Visit their office in LaGrange at 309 West Jefferson Street or learn more online at oldhamfinancial.com. Financial Solutions Incorporated. Clarity for your financial future.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
And welcome back as we start the second half. North Oldham 35, Waggener 13 as just now underway. And the Mustangs, original starters out there as Cargould sets into a three. And there's a rebound occupied by Santana Anderson of Waggener. And a foul on North Oldham. Foul on Gray Schmidl. So Jamel Remio at the line for two. This is a Waggener team, their last winning season back in 2019-20, so it's been a little bit. And that one off the mark. Cargould inside the teeth of that defense, tried to thread the needle underneath to Gregg, and McQuarrie, great effort play to dig out that loose ball.
Well, the pass that all big men hate, down around their ankles, and he wasn't able to pick it up, and as a result, a run out the other way.
And an and one as Krishad Bethel puts it in. Bethel now 4 points on the evening, averaging 17. And gets the roll.
A little three-quarter court pressure right now by the Wildcats. had some success with it early.
And Austin Sears probe it inside to Tommy Gregg. Three-pointer for Schmidl. Just a tremendous athlete. Schmidl, outstanding football player. And he does everything well athletically. And Daniels has been a factor in this game, Gary, with his length.
Very much. Size and length is an advantage for Daniels in this game. It's the best I've seen him play of the 4 games.
And it's going to be out of bounds to Waggener as McQuarrie will inbound.
Up 20 points. North working on pressure.
Yes, Will Eppinger trying to navigate this defense. Big on big. He took it by Daniels and converted.
Well, we mentioned earlier in the game, Epinger's one of those guys that's an in-the-paint player, and that's exactly where his instincts led him, and he ended up getting a hard-driven layup.
38-19. Mustangs doubling up Waggener. And Schmidl from the identical spot, knocking in another 3.
Schmidl, a catch-and-shoot player right now, still got the football rough edges.
Here's Jamel Remio. He lost the handle. And North in the open floor again. There's Sears. Rained that one long. Schmidl up top. And there's Gregg that lost it for a moment. And we've got a Waggener foul.
Fouls number 5, Judy Eppinger, his second, team's first.
I have a couple of North Oldham, at least one Mustang sub. It's Rajon Pierrondo that's back in. Just over 5 minutes in this third quarter.
Waggener staying in that 2-3 zone.
And Austin Sears back to Schmidl. And Gray Schmidl, his third made 3 in this quarter.
Schmidl finding that spot, and the offense finding him the ball against the 2-3 zone.
Mustangs have made 9 threes tonight. And on the verge of a running clock here, perhaps in this fourth, as they have the turnover as Rondo now into forecourt. Rondo rifling it around. Daniels, a strong move. He initiated the contact and put it in.
That was an off-tackle move. Did a great job. Used those shoulders to shed the defender.
Got a 30-second break. Waggener calls timeout. North Oldham in command on Glycod.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Mustangs on top of Waggener, 46-19 at the 4:09 mark of this third quarter. Butler and South Oldham again will follow this. What do both teams want to work on here in this lopsided second half?
Well, you know, the easier job will be that North has, because you have lots of players, you can sub them in and you can work on things. The hardest job is what Coach O'Neill has. You know, you're limited with players and you're trying to get them to listen, and they're looking up and they're down 20, and the ability to play team ball sometimes falls by the wayside.
That shot off the mark. Eppinger claims the rebound. Good for him. He's got a putback and a North Oldham foul.
Well, Evinger, once again, he loves it in the paint. And, he's smart enough. That's where his bread's buttered, and he stays in those areas.
He's a very active player, Gary.
Very much so, and he just goes about his job, and he knows his job is inside the paint.
And a free throw in as well. So 46-22 is Effinger now, 9 points, leading Waggener in scoring.
A little half-court trap once again, so they're trying some things, but because of their limited numbers, they can only do it so long.
There's Rondo drawing some attention. And McQuarrie, he's been very energetic tonight. Steps in the passing lane and knocks in the layup.
They're 2 players away from being that average team. And, if they had that depth and you could rest players, that would help. But their numbers are their biggest deficiency.
Sears with the layup. Now, we don't know what they normally have in terms of personnel, but we're going to have a North Oldham timeout. We'll keep things here. It's only a 30. We don't know what they normally have, but today there's only, looks like 7 dressed.
Well, a good friend of mine is in the faculty over at Waggener, and this is their numbers pretty much. And if you can imagine, with basketball you have to have 5. Think of a school like that, and they're trying to have football teams and even baseball teams where you use 11 players, 10 players, whatever. It really makes it tough for them.
Well, how do you have practices with so few players?
That's the thing that a lot of people never think about. You're limited to what you can do in practice if you only have maybe 8 or 9 kids dressed out.
Mustangs been very active defensively. The press and zone have caused all sorts of issues. Case in point, stepping in the passing lane, that's Gus Soul. Out to Schmidl. Short on that 3. As Rashad Bethel driving and lost the handle out of bounds. Mustangs on the verge of their 9th win of the season. And a layup off the mark from Jamel Romeo. Lost that one. And it will belong now to North Oldham.
Interesting. The official called that a push on the Waggener player, and I suppose he had a better angle than we did.
As Rondo will shuttle out. Austin Sears back in as Sears will handle it in the backcourt.
Little 1-2-2 half-court trap. They've had some success with it.
Schmidl piercing baseline and deflected out off of Will Effinger. The 2:30 mark in this third quarter. Mustangs led at 17-4 after 1, 35-13 at half.
Substitution for Waggener, number 11, Noah Eagles.
Nice release. Greg catches but travels.
You know what? I question that call by the officials. It won't be the first one in my life. I'm sure it's not the last. But I thought he did a great job hitting on 2 feet. And in doing so, he hadn't established a pivot foot. And then he took one step and laid it in.
Deflected out by Soul. This Mustang team, you can sense they're very deep. They've comfortably could go about 9 deep.
Very much so. And, as time goes on, if you're a coach, what you want is that magic number is usually around 8, where you can keep continuity. When you start playing more, you lose your continuity. You gain in players playing, but it's not always the best for your team.
McQuarrie driving, kissing that in.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, McQuarrie just kind of hangs around. He's active out front, gets his hands on some passes. They're back into 2-3 on the half.
See what the Mustangs can do here in the balance of this third quarter. Sears hoists to 3 and a little short with that one. Saved by Greg. Or rather, excuse me, it was David Bradley that kept it in play. Foul on Krishan Bethel of Waggener. Now both teams with 3 fouls in this stanza.
Short breather for Rondo and back into the game. But he's a 7th grader, and as a coach, you have to be careful. Because of that, you really want to watch fatigue factors.
What was your experience when you brought up middle schoolers to the roster?
Didn't bring a lot up. You had to be really careful for a variety of reasons, both physically, but more importantly, mentally. You don't ever want to put them in situations where they're overmatched and they get beat down.
Here's a 3 from Schmidl, knocking in his 4th triple of this quarter.
You could get away with it more with bigger kids because they're stronger. It was the guards a lot of times you had to really be careful with.
Mustangs with 10 threes in this game. There's Remio. Of course, the other part of the equation, how do the older kids receive, the younger kid coming in?
Yep. There are a lot of tangibles you have to weigh in there. How mom and dad perceive a younger kid taking an older kid's minutes. There's a lot of those things that you have to weigh.
Well, the middle school season ends, is it not, by the calendar year? There's a foul on the floor.
Well, they've tried to establish that, and with some successes, some areas better than others. There's some areas they finish up their middle school programs the first or second week of December, and those kids are released if they are good enough to go and practice at the high school levels.
Mustangs pick up their 5th foul of this quarter, so 2 free throws for Waggener. But as the varsity coach, I'm sure you're well aware of the players in the pipeline coming up.
Well, you are. Daniels is a great example. He was a kid last year that was sometimes thought as a less than average. He's a long, lean kid, but he's made tremendous progress just over the summer and this first part of this season. You see it more with bigs. I guess maybe because of their size, they're more evident.
The tie ball arrow going to stay Waggener. Take a look at the Mustangs' upcoming schedule. A lot of home games in the next 5. Of course, the Tuesday tilt versus Trinity, weather pending. As this Mustang team will be good for them to get back home. They've been on the road for much of the last few weeks as Effinger, through contact, will go to the foul line.
Well, then, January is always the Oldham month, if you will. The 3 schools play each other. They play on the 3 Fridays of January, and that's kind of old school basketball when the county comes together and the gyms are packed, and I don't expect anything less this year.
It'll be January 17th, the first of those 3 straight Fridays. South Oldham at Oldham County. And then the round robin continues on the 24th and 31st as Effinger off the mark. And the putback going to float in. That's Arion Roach. 5 seconds left, and Waggener continuing to play hard.
Well, they haven't quit. That's
McQuarrie
right.
for a 3. And that's going to take us to the 4th. North Oldham in command, 51-30. 4th quarter. Coming up next from Glycod.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
Blinds are wet, not just blinds. Blinds are wet, not just blinds.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
North Oldham in command as they lead Waggener 51-30. We welcome you back to to South Oldham High School, part of the New Year's Classic with Butler and South Oldham tipping in the nightcap around 7:30 Eastern. So the Mustangs trying to put away Waggener this afternoon and improve to 9-6 on the season. And Waggener on the verge of falling to 3-8. Eli Green on the handle for North. And there's number 2, Austin Sears, hoisting a 3. And Effinger able to corral the rebound. Now Arion Roach with it for Waggener. There's McQuarrie's that pinballs around in the paint. And a held ball. Arrow will belong to Waggener. Nice move by McQuarrie.
Excellent move by McQuarrie. Now we get to see him show off his inside moves. Nice drop step to the basket.
And credit Waggener, they're continuing to play hard despite the score.
They have not quit. Excellent point, Chris.
Daniels corralling the rebound off the Noah Peebles miss with just over 7 minutes remaining. And a turnover, a live ball turnover. It's 3-on-1. Able to gather that was McQuarrie, and we're going to have a held ball this time. The arrow in favor of North Oldham.
Returning to the game for North Oldham, number 10, Grace Schmidl, and number 11, Brooks Hargold.
So a pair of regulars back in for North with Schmidl and Cargold.
Waggener still in that half-court trap. And it's proved to be effective. It's forced some turnovers, but more than anything, it's forced North some cases to shoot quickly.
Oakland Shear off the mark with that 3. As Waggener possessing the ball down 19. Jamel Remio idle. Effinger flanks a 3.
A little bit out of Effinger's range.
And Cargold skying for the rebound before he's upended. So the Mustangs will traverse the full length here. North led 17-4 after 135-13 at half. And now lead by 19 with 6:30 to play. There's Green up top from Schmidl. 11 triples for North. Fumbled around, and I think Daniel's going to be guilty of a foul as he knocked Roach from back.
Foul number 10, Grace Schmidl, his 3rd, team's first. At the line, shooting 2 for Waggener, number 15, Arion Roach.
Roach on the season, 59% free throw shooter. Got the roll. Really a selfless pass here by Grace Schmidl to find Eli Green. So that'll take it to 20. And the Wildcats going to pause the timeout. We'll step aside. More coverage from the New Year's Classic in Crestwood right after this.
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Coming up at the conclusion of this game, Gary and I will have the State Farm Insurance agent Leslie Gilly Most Outstanding Player. We'll nominate one student athlete from each team for their accomplishments and achievements this afternoon. So North Oldham possession, as I think both teams trying to maximize the final 6:07 with some positive points moving forward this season.
First time all night, Waggener's moved it up to full court. So they have to pick and choose their times to expend a lot of energy.
Foul on Effinger. So clearly that was the message in the timeout. It was called by Coach Brian O'Neill.
Yeah, give it a good look. See, guys, we got 6 minutes. If you got something in the tank now, let's use it.
Nice pass, or was it? No, it's stolen away by Roach. Nice idea.
Idea was the right idea, just the wrong pass.
There's a three from Bethel. It's off from Krishad, and ricocheted around and put up and in by Roach. He's been very active in limited time off the bench.
Yep.
There's Tommy Gregg being bothered up the floor. Schmidl in the crease. Nice gather and conversion by Colin Daniels.
Well, it starts with a pass. Great job in penetration. Made the defensive step up, and when he did, he was able to dump it right inside.
Now, Gary, those are the hands of a quarterback, and that's exactly who Daniels plays on the football field.
Well, like I said, this is the time that he's played pretty well.
Rebound occupied by Roach for Waggener. Not sure if you can see the top middle of your screen in red. That's Butler. They're salivating to take the floor. They can't wait to take the floor for the nightcap. That's off from Effinger. As North Oldham under 5 minutes and a big advantage. Schmidl from Green. Daniels collecting, and this time it's short. And there's Gray Schmidl. Schmidl with a takeaway and put away.
Schmidl has been very active in this game. He's made some jumpers, and he's also started to break on some steals.
A very solid game all the way around, also with some assist as well.
Yep.
Ripped away by Effinger.
Well, there's that lack of strength out of youth.
Yeah, that was Tommy Gregg that couldn't withstand the pressure from Effinger. And the lead at 20. And Green stolen away by Krishan Bethel. There's Bethel, shot blocked. And here comes Brooks Cargould coming up the floor. And McQuarrie back for the foul. So Brooks Cargould at the line for two. Mustangs going to bring on 5 new ones here at the pause between free throws. And that one's going to go for Cargould. This is a very strong North Oldham free throw shooting team at 73%. And you look at in game 2, you've got South Oldham at 75%.
Yeah, and some of their players shooting up in around the low 80s. So point of emphasis, Coach Simpson's team always have had high free throw shooters, high three-point shooters.
We'll see if the Forest rule stays intact today, first to 60.
Yeah, I think so.
Did we ever figure out the math on that, just in terms of the overall number of first to 60, the percentage of a winner if you reach 60 first?
Well, it usually happens, games I've seen or been at, maybe maximum once or twice a year.
Where it does not follow that form.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see one of those where, and what it happens is when you have high-scoring teams.
Gotcha.
That can score in bundles. Somebody might reach a 61st, but we don't see that as much anymore.
Or certainly overtime, if overtime is played. So the Mustangs will improve to 9-6. And the quality of their loss is just very impressive
Well, he plays a tough schedule, and he does it the right way, believing that in the beginning the tough schedule may hurt you a little bit, but it makes you better in the end.
And the RPI certainly going to come out here at some point this month, and one would expect North would be in the top tier in the 8th region. That's off. As Austin Sears probing. Nice pass and catch and basket for Oakland Shear. Shear with 5 off the bench, and credit Austin Sears with the assist. There's a 3, not going to fall, and rebound secured by Brooks Cargould. There's 2:25 now on the clock. Bradley a little discombobulated, and he'll be called for a travel.
Returning to the game for Waggener, number 3, Jamal Remio. And substitutions for
Ryan Seeley is on for North. And I believe that is everyone that's suited up today that's entered the game for North Oldham. Ryan Seeley, 6'2", sophomore, number 22. Nice entry inside and off the window. Well done by Arion Roach. And Gary, to your point, if Waggener, they just need a couple more bodies.
I think they would be a much better team, whether it be guards, bigs, or whatever. It's just tough playing 5 or 6 kids every game.
Doesn't take Seeley long to get on the board. He's been in for 1 trip before he knocks down a 3. 65-42. That one's well off the mark from Noah Peebles. And Rondo, a handle from the Mustangs. That one nearly went in for Henry Howard, 5'11" sophomore. There's Bradley hoisting a 3. And the basket falls for Oakland Shear. Season high now for Shear. Had 5 coming in. Tonight he's got 7. A 67-42 Mustang lead. Will step aside. Waggener calling their 5th and final timeout. Back in 30 seconds from Glycod.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Watterson Trail in Louisville. You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Mustangs on the verge of win number 9. Again, they have led throughout in this game. They now lead Waggener 25 points. 58 seconds remaining. So Butler and South Oldham will tip next around 7:30 or perhaps a tad after. And we'll certainly have that for you as well. What do you look for in that game? And we'll talk more about details, but what do you look for in that game?
It's which team gets to adapt their style over the other one. If South can play a fast game, shoot threes, obviously it benefits them. Butler more of a, we want to control the tempo, both offensively and defense. That would obviously a benefit to them.
Nate Pasui is on for the first time, wearing number 20. He's got it now, tries a 3.
Didn't take him long.
Long rebound, and that may have been the reason for the timeout for,
I think it was.
For Coach O'Neill. Allow everybody a chance to play.
Well, a lot of reasons. Give a kid who's been practicing an opportunity. Maybe he'll stay at your school next year. Just a lot of things.
Well, a chance he's worked so hard, I'm assuming, to make the team and to play this year. And Ryan Seeley with another bucket. So Seeley with 5 points in less than 2 minutes of action. And the Mustangs average 66, and they're going to have 69 here in this one, it looks like. Rashad Bethel at 5. Passawi at 3. And that's going to wrap things up this afternoon at South Oldham High School. The Mustangs a winner 69-42. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll step aside. Our post-game will begin right after this timeout. You're watching high school basketball from Glycod.
You cannot depend on Oliver's parallel parking.
Hey, you got it, man!
But you can always depend on his car starting because he has an Interstate battery. Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management. Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy in Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware, 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
Blind Select, not just blind. Blind Select, not just blinds.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Tonight's post-game recap is brought to you by Crestwood State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilly. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Back live at South Oldham High School in between games. In Game 1, North Oldham victorious over Waggener 69-42. And really a solid performance and consistent performance today by North.
It was. You know, one of the hardest things to do is get kids' attention. When they go into a game, they've already heard people tell, oh, y'all are going to win this when you're going to win it big. And you know, sometimes it gets between their ears a little bit. I thought Coach did a good job of subbing plentifully, getting kids minutes that maybe needed some minutes. And as a result, they played as hard from the beginning to the end. Nobody it looked like was out there, I'm going to get my own.
Mustangs improved to 9-6 on the year. Waggener falls to 3-8. We will take one more timeout and have the State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilly, most outstanding players for you. We'll have that in just a couple of minutes from Glycod.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in, like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right, Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
Proud supporters of Oldham County High School's athletics. Robin Lawson and Financial Solutions Incorporated have been recognized over a dozen times as Oldham County's best financial planner. Robin and his team provide individuals and small businesses the tools needed to achieve their financial goals, because they care not just about the result, but also the process. Visit their office in LaGrange at 309 West Jefferson Street, or learn more online at oldhamfinancial.com. Financial Solutions Incorporated. Clarity for your financial future.
Check it. Ooh. Oh, no.
Need a better battery? Get an Interstate battery. Outrageously dependable.
Should have had an Interstate.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Time now for tonight's most outstanding players, presented as always by Crestwood State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilley. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Leslie, a huge partner of ours on Glycod. We appreciate her so much. You can contact Leslie at 502-384-6184. Again, Leslie Gilley, State Farm Insurance. Some of these stats, Gary, unofficial, but Will Effinger very close, I would think, to a double-double today for Waggener.
They're very much so. Got a nice motor, always kept it running, knew his limitations, stayed within them. And as we discussed earlier in the game, he was a guy that was strictly in the paint, didn't want to shoot outside, knew where his bread was buttered, and played a really solid game for him.
Leo McQuarrie did as well. I think he did some very positive things. His motor did not stop in this game.
No, and that's two kids that you asked to play an entire game, and they did it. And I don't think their game was compromised any for it, but I'm sure from time to time they wish, can I have a minute of rest?
For the Mustangs, Gray Schmidl, 17 points unofficially, 5 threes in the second half. But he was very sound, seemed to be involved in much of what they did on offense.
Well, very much so. And once again, you're taking a kid that's transferring from one sport to another. And, that first month, a lot of times, you just have to get the rust off. And I thought his stroke looked good. He had a period where he knocked down some threes and such. So it just takes a while.
Got Butler, South Oldham. That game will tip in about 15 or so minutes. We will transition to that coverage in just a few moments. You're watching Oldham High School's basketball, the New Year's Classic on Glycod. We'll be right back.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware, 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Waterson Trail in Louisville.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Back live at South Oldham High School in between games. We've got Butler and South Oldham, and this game will tip off in just an accession of 10 minutes. And Gary, on paper, this should be an outstanding matchup.
I really think so. You know, this is one of those games, if you're looking at scores around this state and you spot these two, you say, you know, if you know anything about high school basketball, two good teams in the Louisville area going at it. You look at their records and say, okay, they played good competition. So, yeah, I think so.
This Butler team, I don't know if they're really flying under the radar because people in Louisville know how good they are. But out in the state, how much of a secret is this Butler team?
I think it's a big secret. You know, when you're out in the state, the names like Mayo and some of the usuals, you know, the Ballards, some of those things have changed. And, you know, every year or two, a couple of different schools pop up. Butler is one of those. They play so many tournaments in the summer now. A lot of times you get to see these teams you've never seen. When I was coaching, we would see them during camps. Now with the AAUs proliferating so many tournaments, you see them as well.
There you see Coach Kevin Geary and this Butler team. A nice win last night. We saw how good North Oldham is. Butler beat them last night 58-56. Michael Jones, season-high 20 points.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, when you asked, who's this game favorite, my initial thing is whoever gets the tempo they want. And Butler is one of those ones. They want to control the tempo. South does too, but they want to push it up into the 70s. Butler would just as soon to have it in the 50s or 60s.
Kevin Geary is fourth season as head coach, fifth season overall, 2007 grad of your alma mater, Dawes High School.
Well, don't see many of those guys that have survived those wars, so, I'll have to run into him and congratulate him.
Butler and South Oldham. We'll talk much more detail about the South Oldham Dragons. They are 11-3, and they are clicking on all cylinders. Defeated Waggener last night 78-51. We'll talk more about the Dragons in just a moment. You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Gleica. We'll be right back.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Waterson Trail in Louisville.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware at 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life. Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash. Proud supporters of Oldham County High School's athletics. Robin Lawson and Financial Solutions Incorporated have been recognized over a dozen times as Oldham County's best financial planner. Robin and his team provide individuals and small businesses the tools needed to achieve their financial goals, because they care not just about the result, but also the process. Visit their office in LaGrange at 309 West Jefferson Street, or learn more online at oldhamfinancial.com. Financial Solutions Incorporated. Clarity for your financial future.
Blinds Direct, not just blinds. Blinds Direct, not just blinds.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Gleica.
Along with former Oldham County boys basketball coach Gary Forrest, I'm Chris LeBar, and welcome back. In between games, family atmosphere this afternoon as Butler and South Oldham will connect. These two teams combined to win 24 games, only 4 losses between these two teams. And we talked about Butler. Let's transition to South Oldham. Your thoughts on them through the first 5-6 weeks of the year?
Well, I think we talked about some of the favorites in the different regions throughout the state. I think they're really flying under the radar here in the 8th region. You know, haven't seen a lot of the, quote, better teams in the 8th. I'm not so sure on a given night that South fits right up there on top. You know, they always, in the past, maybe were a little one-dimensional, great offensive, sometimes suspect defense, but in the last 2 years, I've seen kind of a different change. You know, there's been a more defensive-oriented thought, and at the same time, they still score points. And they've got a lot of kids returning. That's a good nucleus.
Dragons winners last night upended Waggener 78-51, so 6 straight wins for South Oldham. And there you see Steve Simpson. He's been at it so long now, the dean in the 8th region. And really, you know, outside of a prolonged run in the Sweet 16, there's not much his teams haven't accomplished in his career.
No, I mean, you know, Steve does things his way, and he's been successful doing it his way. And, you know, a lot of times his way and someone else's way aren't always the same, but it's what you're comfortable with.
This is a Dragons team. They've got a lot of experience this year, and Julian Miles leading them in scoring 22 points per game. But as you illustrated, what he does on the defensive end is as impactful.
I really think so. You know, he's that quiet coach on the court. Sometimes not so quiet might get him in trouble. And I know Coach Simpson's trying to get him to temper things and turn those things into positives. And I've seen that difference on this team the last 2 years, and I credit Coach Miles to some of that.
Take a look at some of their wins. So many games they've won have been on a neutral floor. 0-2 on the road in the region. They've got the Simon, Kenton, and Collins loss, but they have won, 6 straight games now.
Very much so. And, you know, Steve's been in this business a long time. He knows places to go that will benefit his team, that will test his team. Sometimes you can go a place you're not going to win. It doesn't make a difference how good a team you are. So why fool with that? And go somewhere you'll be tested, and at the same time, win or lose, your team benefits from it.
And you can underscore that to 75% free throw shooting mark as a team. That's going to win a lot of close games.
It will win games for you, and for other teams that don't shoot that well, it'll certainly lose them for you. And, you know, Steve's kids are always in it because of their abilities to make free throws and the efficiency in which they shoot the threes.
We will step aside. Starting lineups on the way back. You're watching Oldham High School's basketball, the New Year's Classic on Glycod.
Be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard. Do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
From Glycod, it's Oldham High School's basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you by Oldham County Solid Waste Management, featuring the Waste Wizard search engine. Anderson's Sales and Service, a top choice for homeowners and lawn professionals. Kinzer & Kinzer, delivering clean, comfortable air. State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilly. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. German American Bank, serving our community since 1910. LaGrange Service Center, Mortensen Family Dental, Operation Parent, and Financial Solutions Incorporated. Now courtside for all the action of Oldham High School's basketball on Glycod.
Take a look at the starting lineups presented by our great friends at Mortensen Family Dental. A healthy smile means a healthy you. Bears will boast 4 double-figure scores. Adrian Wilder, averaging 14 points per game. Michael Jones in at 11. Henrik Bargelot at 10 points per game. And Danico Troll at 10 with Jayon Hansberry also getting a start for Butler. For South Oldham, Miles leading the brigade at 22 points per game. Jake Fithian averaging 12 points. Got to Xander Searcy starting as well. And then up front, Brooks B. and William Burnside, both of those averaging in excess of 10 points per game. Trio of officials, Logan Riddle amongst them with Jason Baker and our good friend and Century Bank's own Tyler Smith, the third official. Great crew on hand this afternoon. Should be an outstanding matchup between two quality teams to wrap up this New Year's Classic.
Really watch Wilder. Excellent shooter. You know, kind of leads by example. And we say that he loses the ball out front to Miles.
And there's an easy basket in the open floor to start this game for South Oldham. It's a very experienced Butler team. Junior and senior laden lineup. And Bargelot trying to evade Fithian. Great thread of the needle to Michael Jones. Jones to Jayon Hansberry.
Full court man-to-man right now.
And South Oldham off the mark. That was Xander Searcy probing the defense as Butler in possession in the half court.
Searcy broad jumped a little bit. I think he was open more than he thought he would be. Sort of an open post by the Bears. Don't have great size.
Jones inside the lane, initiating contact. Fithian called for the foul.
You know, they basically play 5 guards. You know, and it's not like South is encrusted with great size, but they spread the middle and they flash guys through the lane. A lot of dribble drive offense.
Jones in his 20-point performance last night, a season high for this Butler team.
That was not a very pretty free throw.
Shoots him at 71%, and Butler as a team shoots him at 69%. So two very strong foul-shooting teams.
Well, that first one wasn't. Still, full court, man-to-man. Want to create that tempo through their defense.
There's Brooks B through the thread of the needle, and that's off the mark. As Adrian Wilder secures it for the Bears. Wide open, Bargelot 3. And it's flipped back in play. Right back to Henrik Bargelot. And there's the Ginger with a rebound, William Burnside. A little sloppy play there off the hand of Searcy. And Burnside in the thick of it is Butler in the half court. Adrian Wilder, 14-footer. And Burnside with his second South Oldham rebound. Now Fithian, nice catch by Julian Miles. He's got all 4 for South.
Little give and go action for Miles out front. Guard cutter through the lane.
Miles just so crafty in how he can score in the open floor.
Well, he doesn't get in a hurry. Has a plan.
That's going to be banked in by a penetrating Danique Troll.
I don't know if Troll called that bank, but he'll get credit.
Jake Fithian knocking in a 3. 37% three-point shooter on the year, and South retakes the lead. There's Jones penetrating with his strong hand to left.
Tell you what, Jones realized when he got the ball, he was going to the rack. Burnside going to have to lace him up to stay up with him.
There's Miles and a touchdown tie. An open 3 off from Fithian, one of his first 2 from out there as Butler seeking their first lead. Jayon Hansberry pulls the trigger on a deep 3, and Miles occupies the South Oldham rebound. Miles, great pass, and in for Brooksby. (9-7) South, nearly 4 minutes complete in the finale of the New Year's Classic. Nice pump fake by Wilder. Swish.
Wilder, very clever.
His 30th made 3 of the year, leading Butler, and they've got a 10-9 advantage. Nice overplay by Bargelot.
Bargelot, great job of evening up with his man by laying on him.
There's Burnside. Euro step, ring Miles. Fithian hoisting a 3, and he's got it.
Fithian loves the 3. That's the scouting report on him.
In a 12-10 South Oldham lead already. 3 leads changes. Yes, Henrik Bargelot has back to Miles. Rather, Adrian Wilder. And Wilder off the mark, and a foul underneath on Butler's Michael Jones.
Great job of running the stagger screen for Wilder when he's away from the ball. Now look for it next time from the back cut. So he sets you up for part 2.
Nice cut, Miles. Points 5 and 6. Jayon Hansberry through contact, got it back, and a Brooksby foul.
Boy, Hansberry like a bulldog. He puts that shoulder down, he's going to the rack. And Brooksby still working his teeth a little bit where he hit him right in the chops with his shoulder.
Take a look at this, a defensive stand here by Butler. Excuse me, that was the cut and score for Miles. So 2 free throws looming for Butler's Jayon Hansberry. First sub of the game for South Oldham is Colton Wuchterl. As B will shuttle out with his first foul. So the Bears one of their first 3 from the foul line. And that was off claimed by Burnside.
Neither of those much rotation. That one's one to watch that you may have to foul.
Now Burnside, a small crease, and he'll release the 3 that swirls out.
Open post once again.
Jones, well short on that 3, and Julian Miles scoops up the loose ball. Back to the trailer, Fithian. Stationary for a 3. And the rebound plucked away by Wuchterl. There's Fithian again. And he's got this one. Fithian 3 out of 5 from 3-point range. And South Oldham now a 7-point lead. Wilder off a curl.
Well, there it was. We just talked about it. They ran it right side. They've run it left side.
Got a Butler 30-second timeout. We'll keep things here as Adrian Wilder knocks in his second 3. That's a well-executed set for both teams.
Very much. Both teams very disciplined in what they're running and wanting to run. And, I think this maybe favors South a little bit. Just the tempo this early. It's been up and down the floor.
Coach Kevin Geary in the Butler huddle. It's been 1 year at Shawnee before moving on to Butler in 2020. This is his 4th season. Yeah, Searcy now 50 and really feeling it.
Well, I wonder if they had a scouting report on Fithian, because right now they're going to let him catch and shoot. They might regret that.
Fithian averages 12. He's got 12 already.
Well, and 80% of his shots are threes.
Miles steps in the passing lane. 2 Butler Bears come in. Elijah Carter amongst them. Carter, 6'1" freshman, donning number 10. And also Abraham Doty Day. Strong drive, and that's going to be off the mark. That was Bargelot that couldn't get it in, and Burnside out with it for South.
Strong rebound by Burnside.
Julian Miles along with that 3, and there's Jones.
No rotation on that one at all by Miles.
There's Michael Jones probing right, spins back left, and a foul on the floor on South Oldham.
Well, Miles usually uses some of his football strength when he defends inside the post, and I think Jones might be rise to the occasion. He's going to put his shoulder down and challenge Miles defensively.
So Jones now with 3 points as the Bears go to the bench again. Jayon Hansberry, starter, will re-enter. And Jones, 3 of 4 from the foul line. The lead reduced to 5 for South.
Much better job getting up into Fithian's face that time.
Miles veering right, floats from the elbow. And tap right back to Miles. There's Fithian again. Everything but as it popped out.
I tell you what, it familiarized itself with the rim but said no.
See what Butler can do as they elect perhaps to hold it for 1.
Spread offense.
Hansberry probing, floating it up, and a whistle and foul at .02.
Chris, Hansberry and Jones are just going to put their heads down and drive it. I don't think there's anything special. You know, they just spread the floor and play 2-man games from one side to another. They really don't have a post player.
So Hansberry to the line where he shoots them at 65%. In a 2015 South Oldham lead.
Still not sure about the free throws from Hansberry. I know he made one, missed one, and he's back to that again.
He'll try one more as Butler able to get the rebound and up and not in time, as that's going to wrap up quarter number 1. South Oldham on top of Butler 20-15. You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Chris Labar and former Oldham County boys basketball coach Gary Forrest welcoming you back. South Oldham by 5 after 1.
Well, Chris, we talked about tempo, and through 1, I think South has the tempo they want. Butler probably want a little slower tempo, so check off quarter number 1 in South's favor, as the score says, 20-15.
Yeah, Jake Fithian with 12 of those 20 for South. on 4 3-point field goals.
Well, remember, they have more options than Fithian. Just when you think, okay, we'll stop Fithian, they've got other kids that can also turn the screw out there.
Got a clock malfunction, as you can see lower right. This happens periodically here. And now it'll power back on. Adrian Wilder with 6 points in the first quarter for Butler.
Good-looking stroke, as we talked about before the game, and they run set screens for him. So, once again, Butler, man-to-man.
Got a pair of Dragons coming in. Great cut and pass.
Excellent set. They'll run that a lot of times to start a quarter.
Xander Searcy to Julian Miles for the layup. Now South back to a 3-possession lead. A strong drive and ripped away. That's Waggener got a hand, and the opposite number 11, Jayon Hansberry, called for a foul.
I think Hansberry's used to. In Louisville, that might be a no-call play on, but out here a little different.
Dragons inbound as Xander Searcy trying to inch things into forecourt. Brooks B off the bench. That rattles out for a 3. And Butler able to secure the rebound as Henrik Bargelot has it. Strong drive, and that's going to be off. It was Elijah Carter with a miss as back tapped out of bounds and will belong South Oldham. 7:04 in this second quarter. North Oldham a winner earlier, 69-42 over Waggener. And Michael Jones will sub in. So Jayon Hansberry actually, is that a technical foul?
Well, Hansberry hadn't been happy since the call down at this end, so I think Coach probably didn't read it, and as a result, the T came first.
And Fithian now 14 points.
Well, that's the thing. When you look at South's 5, 4 of those 5 are capable of giving you 20 points, so choose your poisons correctly.
Well, that's been their formula for all these years here at South Oldham. Different personnel, same formula.
Well, it's because of their offensive base.
Fithian drives. A nice poke away. Michael Jones from the weak side to knock it away for Butler. Now Bargelot being bothered by Fithian. Abraham Dodier up top for Butler.
See, I question the ones Butler has on the floor about how well they shoot it from the outside with Wilder out. I'm surprised Coach Simpson hadn't maybe gone to a zone to test that.
Troll threading the needle, weaving his way in, high off the glass.
See, everything
and a South foul.
Everything right now, Chris, is in the paint area. You know, now sometimes coaches feel like, yeah, but if we play them a zone, they're so quick, we have a hard time boxing out. And I'm just not so sure how well they have shooters on the floor.
Troll knocking in the free throw. Good crowd on hand this afternoon. Always great to come to South Oldham. Thanks as always to the great folks here. Joe Ritchie, athletic director here at South Oldham. And poked away and secured by Butler on the offensive glass. That was Carter that got it and put it in. Carter to Michael Jones for the basket. Jones now with 7.
They're much more aware of Fithian now.
There's Drew Campbell on the floor for the first time for South. He lost the handle going in. You think Coach Gary introduced Fithian to his players at the timeout?
Well, I think so. If the last 2 possessions are any indication, they know his number.
With 5:54 left in this first half. South Oldham 11-3, 6 straight wins. Butler 11-1. Bears lone loss December 14th at Greene County. There's Wilder. Driving baseline, Henrik Bargelot got the roll. So Bargelot with his first field goal, and the lead reduced to 4. Carter with some length, bothering Fithian. Got it anyway.
I tell you what, Carter got him with the lower body. I mean, from the hips down. You know, did a great job showing his hands to the official, but defensively, he couldn't have played him much better, and Fithian still able to make the basket.
So Fithian now with 16 points in this first half as the lead back to 6.
Playing like a man on a mission.
Coming up at halftime, we'll talk about some area scores. We'll update the ticker and get Gary's thesis on both North Oldham and Oldham County. Gary saw Oldham last night versus Simon. Kenton Colonels also in action as we speak in Lexington against Sayre. We'll update that score when it comes in. .509 in the half.
Give the Bears credit. They withstood the Fithian barrage and have stayed in this thing.
Strong drive with the left. That's off from Danico Troll. And stolen Brooks B in the passing lane for South Oldham, ahead to Fithian. B hoist to 3. And a rebound secured underneath by number 4, Danico Troll for Butler. Outlet pass blocked out of there by Waggener on the Troll jumper. Fithian, oh my. Got it.
Here comes another defender in to try his luck.
Jake now with 19, averages 12, and he's got 5 made threes in this first half.
And you got to ask yourself, how many times has he hit the floor, or how many times has he shot a free throw? And that tells you how close the defense has been to him.
You know, this one perhaps, I think, the deepest 3 of the lot from Fithian in transition. As the Bears will inbound underneath. 9-point deficit. Their deepest advantage or a disadvantage in this first half. That's going to swirl out of there for Henrik Bargelot, and out of bounds. Butler. As Wilder to float it in. And Jones sizing up Burnside. Jones, nice take.
Burnside hit a slick spot. That's all it took for Jones to get into the paint.
Jones now on the verge of double figures with 9. Miles in the corner. And out of bounds, it will stay South Oldham. Let's take one more look at that Fithian 3. Now the replay going to be unkind, but it was a deep 3. Great fake by Julian Miles. Back out to Fithian. Got it again. Fithian now with 6 threes. And the lead at 10. What do you do if you're Butler?
I keep rolling the dice. I make him put it on the floor. You know, they've not did that.
Over to Adrian Wilder. Michael Jones tries his luck with a long 3. And off the basket, support possession back to South Oldham.
See, I don't think Jones is an outside shooter. I think he's a dribble driver, and he's good at that. But when he pulls up and shoots that shot, I think South's going to give him all those. And once again, your question on 50, you got to crowd him. You've got to make him put it on the floor.
And that's good for Miles.
Yep, and Miles says, yes, sir, thank you. I can do that too.
Dragons with 7 made threes.
They're getting a taste of how well South can shoot it from the outside.
And in this gym, we've seen it over the years. It just can be so impressive at times.
Yep.
And a basket in for Abraham Dodier. 35-24, 2:30. And that was a swish from Adrian Miles.
Well, usually known as a defensive guy, he says, I'll match, brother, and here's one for you.
So the Dragons with 8 threes in this half. Wilder tried to float it underneath and out of bounds, believe touched last by Fithian perhaps. As Butler inbounding here as this lead is starting to get out of hand. They were down 5 after 1. And now it's swollen to 14. Bargelot elevating and connecting.
Once again, in the paint. Right now, Butler is yet to show that they could make a basket outside the paint. Now, they're great at taking it to the rack.
Now they do have the 2 Wilder threes, but cutting and scoring again is Miles.
See, once you make those threes, then it opens up the drive, and Miles is great at playing off of that.
There's Wilder veering in. I believe Burnside called for the South Oldham foul. It's been a very impressive quarter by South Oldham.
Well, it's their tempo and nice set play out of bounds.
And Butler going to call a full timeout. 40-28 South Oldham. We'll step aside. More coverage after this timeout from Glycod.
Tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project. See the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware, 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Wonderful basket in the half court by South Oldham.
Very much so. You know, they know the things to run out of their offense that if the other team takes something away, they give you something in return. And South's kids are very knowledgeable about they take away the jump shot, I've usually got to drive, or vice versa.
Kevin Geary emphatically wanted a Butler timeout. What is their plan here in the latter stages of this quarter?
Well, I think he realizes he can't let this thing really get away the last minute 33. Maybe we're not going to catch up by halftime, but we want to maybe cut 5 points off of this thing and get ourselves back into play. 2-2-1 full court now, so there's your change. But in doing so, you're going to give up threes out of this press.
There's Brooks B chiseling his way in the lane over to Miles. There's Julian Miles. A deep three and a rebound underneath. This taken away by Miles. And now there's Butler. And great credit to Julian Miles, number 50, for intercepting that pass. Just over a minute in the frame. And a hold underneath, only the 3rd foul of the quarter on Butler.
Well, you know, really, both teams are employing what sometimes referred to as the donut offense. They really don't have a post players, so they're opening up the area to either flash and drive or shoot threes.
And Fithian long with that one. As Butler under a minute now in this quarter. Trying to get it in single digits. Wilder off the mark.
All over the rim, but no luck.
And South Oldham occupying the rebound. It's Julian Miles with 35 seconds in the first half. There's Miles.
Short with that one. Burnside collects and puts it home.
There's another case of missed 3 offensive rebounds, stick back.
Michael Jones through contact in the Burnside foul with 16 seconds in the half.
Jones going to put that head down and go.
So inbound underneath for Butler. As Bargelot, the recipient in the corner. Bargelot at 10, cutting and catching and off the mark from Dodier at 5 seconds as Julian Miles races.
Big miss.
Fifth Ian on the run, and that's going to wrap up this first half. South Oldham 42, Butler 28. Dragons outscore the Bears by 13 in the second quarter. We'll step aside. More coverage right after this pause from Glycod.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy in Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Waterson Trail in Louisville.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Oldham County Solid Waste Management. Find out how to recycle or dispose of any item with Waste Wizard at oldhamcountyky.gov under Solid Waste Management.
Welcome back to Crestwood. New Year's Classic on Glycod South Oldham over Butler 42-28 at the half. And Gary, certainly the story, Jake Fithian, 22 points, including 6 made three-pointers.
I'm still waiting for him to force him to put it on the floor. He hasn't done it yet.
So Fithian with 22. You've got Julian Miles unofficially with 12. What's impressed you the most about this Dragon effort in the first half?
Well, you know, as we mentioned earlier, they've got a lot of guns to throw at you. And, you know, I'm not so sure a lot of people in the 8th know about Fithian. You know, last year he had some ups and downs with his health issues. And so this year that's just another weapon they've got in their arsenal. And he's showing you tonight that if you don't guard him, you're going to pay the price. And, you know, if you take him away, there's 4 other guys out there, so you choose your poisons.
You got a Butler team coming in 11-1, and certainly Michael Jones been a steady contributor with 9 points. But are you surprised by how much they've struggled on offense?
Well, very much so. And you know, who am I to tell Coach Simpson what to do? They're playing him basically man and saying we just got to, you know, keep him out of the paint. I'm not so sure, with the exception of Wilder, how well they shoot it outside.
Yeah, the team from three-point range on the season anyway, Butler 35% as a group. Again, 11-1 coming in, and South Oldham having their way at least through the first 2 quarters, leading the Bears 42-28. Let's talk a bit about the 8th region and specifically the Oldham trio as a whole. You saw Oldham County last night. We just saw North Oldham. How would you assess where these teams are at this point?
Well, you've got 2 in rebuilding mode, and that's North and that's OC. And, you know, both of them do it differently. Probably North had more returning kids with some minutes. You know, Oldham's pretty much rebuilding. And they're playing a lot of youth, as is North. Whereas South, they're the steadying factor. They've got kids that have come back that were an integral part of their successes last year. And that's just something to build on this year. And that's why I think right now they're the best team in the region.
Who else would you put in that category? You've seen Simon Kenton. You've seen Collins. Who else would factor in there?
Well, I saw Simon Kenton last night against Oldham, won on a last-second shot without their best player, and they're very well coached. So, you know, I think they're up in that top 5. I've seen Collins twice, and they're very well coached, but I'm still not sure on them. Spencer lost a lot from last year's state tournament team. And, you know, the thing about our region is it's so far apart from north to south, we don't get to see a lot of the teams up north but maybe one time. So you don't sometimes get a true look on them. And so as a result, we did see earlier this year, whereas Walton Verona came down, got a very good one player. Big guard averages about 25 a game. On a given night, they can give you some trouble and such. But, you know, right now, I'd say South kind of is the one that leads the region, and everybody else is kind of chasing them. Haven't seen Woodford. They're so far to the east. They've lost some players, but they've also brought some in from the Lexington area.
Should be a fascinating second half and an outstanding effort needed by the Butler Bears as they trail South Oldham at the turn 42-28. We'll step aside second half action right after this.
Be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard. Do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in. Like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right, Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life. Proud supporters of Oldham County High School's athletics. Robin Lawson and Financial Solutions Incorporated have been recognized over a dozen times as Oldham County's best financial planner. Robin and his team provide individuals and small businesses the tools needed to achieve their financial goals, because they care not just about the result, but also the process. Visit their office in LaGrange at 309 West Jefferson Street, or learn more online at oldhamfinancial.com. Financial Solutions Incorporated. Clarity for your financial future.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
And just like that, South Oldham with a bucket right as we welcome you back. Julian Miles in, and the lead grows to 16. Driving and trying to respond, Michael Jones. It's off the mark, and Fithian weaving his way in for South Oldham. As the Bears trying to get some momentum building in this start of the second half. There's Adrian Wilder exchanging passes with Henrik Bargelot, and Bargelot able to keep it alive. And a slow start for Butler, at least from the floor in this game. Strong drive by Bargelot and a South Oldham foul. Second foul on Julian Miles. First foul of the quarter, meaning Henrik Bargelot, 78% free throw shooter, will have 2 Butler free throws.
I tell you, Chris, Butler just looked very lethargic. They look like their team's playing the third game in 3 days and haven't won a game. It's like, get it over with. They really don't have much zip.
Bears defeating North last night in a tight one, 58-56. Great exchange, and Burnside has it rattle off, and there's Bargelot to corral the rebound for the Bears. And the clock has gone out again on the scoreboard. Nobody sees it, and there's a Butler 3. And the officials still don't see it as the clock is dead here at South Oldham High School, but the lead at 12 for South. 44-32. Burnside racing in. Burnside muscles it up and in.
Well, they've got the 1 clock at our end across the gym is running. That's the main clock. But as you mentioned, the lesser of the 2 is not working. I guess that's why it's the lesser.
Michael Jones well off the mark from 3 as the lead stays at 14. 46-32. And where we're positioned here, we do not have a glimpse of the clock. There's Tyler Smith, the official, recognizing that.
Well, what they've done is they've tried to reset it, and the other clock went off, but it just came back on. So the main clock is running. And quite frankly, that favors South because they can see the clock the entire second half. Okay, so now we got both of them working again.
At a 14-point South Oldham lead. So much of what the Dragons do is on the shoulders of Julian Miles. His ability to make the extra pass and initiate so much. And going to trickle off a Burnside.
you get the sense Butler might be building into a run here?
They don't give me any reason to think that.
Not a lot of intensity on that sideline.
No.
There's Bargelot trying to weave it around and deflected off of a darting Xander Searcy. Will stay Butler.
I just wonder where they go if they can't get Wilder uncorked. I think the rest of them play off of him. And South's done a pretty good job defending him, taking away their screens. Here he comes again.
Well, and conversely, Butler has not done a good job on three-point defense, but that one's going to go for Bargelot. He's got 7 unofficially, and the lead reduced to 12. Just under 5 minutes now in this third quarter. North Oldham victorious in lopsided fashion earlier over Waggener. And that pass ripped away. Strong drive, Jones lowers the shoulder, head down as you mentioned, and a South foul on Burnside.
Foul is on number 12, William Burnside, his second team second.
Possession underneath as Butler tries to slice into this 12-point hole. High pass, B able to get a hand on that. As Hansberry takes it and puts it in. And South Oldham going to want a 30-second timeout. The lead at 10, 46-36. Take a 30-second break now. This from Clementine's Car Wash on Glycod.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Butler within 10 as we welcome you back. New Year's Classic at South Oldham High School. Dragons will have possession out of the timeout. And Fithian into forecourt for South. There's Julian Miles flinging a three, and the rebound gathered on the backside by 5. Michael Jones for Butler. There's Jones, left hand dominant. Pass underneath, collected and converted for Jayon Hansberry.
Slowly but surely, Butler climbing back in this thing off of made buckets inside the paint.
And a foul coming up the floor. Hansberry asking for a hook, but a foul on Butler nonetheless.
Well, Hansberry needs to be careful. You know, he got frustrated early in the first half. They had to take him out when he picked up a tee. And I think Coach sees it coming again, so he's removed him.
That's a great job of knowing your players.
Yep.
And a good overplay. That's Jeremiah Gowa that deflects it out of bounds.
See how he does with Fithian.
Yeah, Searcy trying to evade Gowa. Fithian dumps it underneath Burnside.
Excellent pass. And quietly, Searcy has done a good job of running the offense and taking the pressure off of the other South players.
Let's take a look at this offensive set. And Searcy doesn't really need to score the ball as much as distribute it.
They've got enough scores. Coach Simpson realizes that. You know, he wants a guy that can run things on the floor like a coach. And Searcy does that. You know, a lot of times those guys don't get the accolades.
That was off from Bargelot. You get the sense from the teams we've seen that
everybody playing at their best, South Oldham might be a head above them.
I think so. I think it's early to say this, but you're going to have an exceptional night to beat them, and they're going to have a night where they don't play so well.
There's Burnside for South at the lead at 9. Burnside up, got it back and put it in.
Well, you know, I think you've heard me all year. I think he's the hidden secret on this team because he gets stuff inside just like that. They don't have a lot of when people watch them, you never hear them mention William Burnside. But when it's all over, he's close to a double-double every night. You know, he shoots it outside, he shoots it inside. He plays very solid defense. You know, he's just a nice high school player.
And he has gotten better each season as William Burnside. Lead back to 10. And now at 9 with just over 3 minutes in this third quarter.
Well, see, they're missing that barrage of threes that they normally have. It's still there. It's within them.
There's Brooks B coming up the floor. That one won't go in. Got the rebound. And Fithian for South Oldham as they try to poise into a double-figure lead with under 3 minutes left in this third quarter.
I like this pace. It's reset, get them going again. Excellent.
Miles, backdoor cut.
Well, that's Coach Simpson communicating to his point guard who got him into that set.
And Xander Searcy, a wonderful assist. Now Michael Jones through contact, off and in, tapped in on the backside.
Heck of a tip.
Henrik Bargelot, 13 points unofficially. He's played marvelously in the second half. There's Julian Miles with a finger roll.
I thought they missed a goaltend even though it went in.
And chaotic pace at both ends. Have a South Oldham foul. Fifth team foul as we take a look at the South Oldham score at this end. So Bargelot back to the foul line. Colton Wachturl back in for South as William Burnside gets some much-deserved rest. And the lead now at 10. Just over 2 minutes left in this third quarter. There's Miles coming up the floor for South. B into a three. And a rebound gathered by Jeremiah Gowa for Butler. There's Jones baseline. Muscles it up and in.
They're doing all this with only one three-pointer made for the Bears in this half.
And only 3 for the game.
Yep, had to 2 the first half.
There's Miles off the bounce, and Gowa back for the rebound, and that's going to net 2 free throws. South Oldham above the limit. And the third on Jake Fithian. So Butler a chance with the clock idle to reduce it to a 2-possession game.
Let's see if Miles comes out for maybe the minute 24 here.
Jeremiah Gowa, 1 of 2 from the foul line on the season. I don't recall Miles subbing out at all tonight, do you?
One time early when his brother came in.
Drew Campbell in for the second time of the game as Jake Fithian shuttles out. And Gowa trying to reduce it to 7. That's well long, but chased down in the corner by Troll. Back to Gowan. Off and followed. It wouldn't go in from Jones. It was on the doorstep. And we're going to have a held ball, the arrow to South Oldham.
Well, you think about it, they've spent an awfully long time of this quarter at that basket. And it's enabled them to get back into this thing a little bit.
114 as South Oldham into forecourt. There's Campbell back to Xander Searcy, who has played very well tonight.
Let's see if South can get in a set here. They got a minute to go here in the third.
Waggener rotates it around. That's Adrian Miles off the glass.
Not a good shot.
And Butler with numbers is Troll driving. And Tyler Smith says we've got a block underneath.
It's a good call.
So Butler, they missed their last 2 free throws. They'll get back for a couple more. Gowan shot the last 2, and this looks like it's going to be Danico Troll. 81% free throw shooter on the season. He's the best for the Bears. And he looked it there. I think Coach Geary's got to be pretty pleased with where he is at this point.
They've chipped away at it. You know, I'm sure he told them at halftime, get herself in position.
And that one swirls in as well. So back to 6, only a 2-possession game.
Yep.
50 seconds left.
I'm a little concerned about, where's South going to get their offense right now. Miles is almost trying too hard.
And he's off the mark there, pleading for a foul.
When you start pleading for a foul, your head's somewhere else.
Cutting, scoring, Elijah Carter. And we're in a 4-point South Oldham lead. 20 seconds in the third.
Nice pass.
Waggener found Brooksby.
Desperately needed by South to stop the damage.
Butler poised to take one final shot. They've got 5 seconds to do it.
It's going to go in the paint.
Troll, 1 second, hoisted well off from Henrik Bargelo, and that's going to wrap up the third. A 2-possession South Oldham lead. 56-50 over Butler. Will step aside. Fourth quarter coming back from Glycod.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit OperationParent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
Blind Direct, not just blinds. Blind Direct, not just blinds.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
56-50 South Oldham leading Butler as we welcome you back for the start of the fourth quarter. As this Dragon team has yet to trail in this game, they've enjoyed much of a lead of double figures, but South Oldham really on the defensive end giving up some easy opportunities.
Very much so, and kind of gotten out of kinks a little bit, and maybe some people needed a little bit of a rest. This we notice on the bench, Julian Miles taking a break, and he's played 3 full quarters. Give him a couple minutes rest.
Butler will have possession. These two teams 22-4 collectively, having fantastic starts to the year.
Well, Butler's 9-1 for a reason, and they played good people. Yeah, they showed this third quarter they don't roll over.
Jones, a strong drive with the left, and here they come.
Yep. This is good for South. See how they handle it.
7:30 remaining. Got Adrian Miles on the floor. Xander Searcy as well for South in the backcourt. No Julian Miles, at least as of yet. Colton Waggener finds Fithian up top. Fithian with a jump stop. Adrian Miles back in the corner to B. Waggener, an open three. Got the shot they wanted. It's corralled by Bargelot of Butler. And there's Henrik Bargelot flinging a three, and oh my, that would have brought him within one as B snags the rebound.
I'm not sure that one would go in a couple of weeks.
Adrian Miles around to Searcy.
If you're South, run your offense. You'll get something. It's come awful easy to you so far.
B lofts it in a big, much-needed bucket.
Very much so. You're going to have those dry spells. Now you got to play at this end. And everything's going to be dribble drive.
Wilder on the mark, but long. And the rebound snatched. One official said timeout. The other said held ball. Let's see what we have here. Tyler Smith will get things sorted out at the scorer's table. Looks like a foul was called.
Yep. On Searcy.
So first foul of the quarter. It's on South Oldham Xander Searcy. And possession at side court for Butler. And here's Julian Miles going to check in as he elevates off the south bench. And will enter at the bottom of your screen. I got the officials conversing again.
Well, it ends up being Butler ball out of bounds because nowhere near close to either team shooting the bonus.
There's Jayon Hansberry for South.
Hansberry going to take it to the rack.
And he's bothered by Adrian Miles, and there's Burnside ripping the rebound and a Butler foul. That's great defense. Michael Jones called. Steve Simpson beneath us, out of your view, chatting with one of the officials. I think there was still some confusion on that last call. And Julian Miles around to Waggener. Back to Julian. And an and one!
Well, they've run that give and go cut with Miles off the top about 8 times tonight. And, cardinal rule in basketball, get between your man and the ball, and the Butler kids keep falling for it. And Miles makes that cut. Now, a couple of shots he's missed, but really it's been his fault because he's kind of floated, but that time he followed through.
And a big response as the lead balloons back to 9. It was 4.
Well, they punched to 5 points here in the last 2 possessions.
Had the Brooks B basket, which was a big one for South.
Got a little zone action now. Let's see if they find Wilder and know where he's at. So first time tonight, Coach Simpson's unloaded the zone on a very suspect outside shooting team.
There's Jayon Hansberry for Butler.
They just need to know where Wilder is.
Hansberry at the foul line, and Jones, a big 3 off the mark. Floated around underneath. Jones able to get it back and puts it in.
See, there's the thing we talked about. If they shoot it and miss against the zone, South has to have good block out position, and they gave up that offensive rebound.
Miles again. This time off the doorstep as Troll collects the Butler rebound. Trying to reduce it beneath 7. Where the lead resides now.
Staying in the zone, looking to match up. Well, you got one playing zone and a couple playing man.
Jones rebound, very aggressive on the backside, and South Oldham with their 3rd foul of the quarter. It's on Adrian Miles, and it may be a shooting foul.
Well, we talked about this earlier, Chris, and you mentioned about maybe things are turning. I kind of feel like things are turning Butler's way right now. The flow seems, Butler's become very active on the offensive boards.
Jones just a steady player. Doesn't jump off the charts, anything statistically, but just solid.
Well, he's energetic. he's always making things happen because he's always around the basket.
Too much needed free throws. We're going to have a South Oldham timeout. The lead at 5. You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
South Oldham 61, Butler 56 as we welcome you back. 4:29 left in this fourth quarter. What's been the change of the tide, if you will, for Butler? What's the reason?
Well, first of all, they're a 9-1 team. I don't know if they played as well early. 3 nights in a row coming down here. But I think from halftime on, we've seen the Butler team that won 9 games.
Take a look at some of their key wins. Gary, North Oldham, Bullitt East, Eastern, amongst the 3 big wins for Butler.
And I still think their outside shooting is suspect with the exception of Wilder. But I think Coach Simpson, we talked about if you go zone and you don't box out, they're going to be all over the boards. And they've shown the last 2 possessions that's exactly what they've done. So it'll be interesting to see if he's going back man.
See what South wants to do here in the half court. Fithian fumbled it underneath it, found Miles though.
Well, I thought Miles got a little running head start there. I don't think he expected the ball.
Dragons led by 14 at the half.
He's going to spread them. They need to run an offense.
And Butler committing their 4th foul, or was enough, just a deflection it appears. So possession stays South.
Let's see if they deny that guard cutter. There goes Miles again.
Great catch.
There's the answer. That's Miles football there. He gets that shoulder in you. They stayed in the zone.
You're a little surprised Butler's not had a response to that play.
Yeah, after a while.
There's a long 3 off from Elijah Carter. And a basket here would really make it more difficult for the Bears. Miles cutting again. He's always in the paint. Adrian Miles, his kid brother, along with that one. There's Julian.
I think they need to look for William inside on the block.
There's Wuckturl heaving up a short 3. And there you go with Burnside.
Let's get Burnside swinging the ball away from him. And he'll quietly slip to the block.
So now 2 offensive rebounds on this possession. And finally a foul up top as Miles bumped by Hansberry.
Hansberry won that call, but he's not going to get that.
4th foul. As Miles a little chatty up top.
Yeah.
And Hansberry's in his grill, and that's a great piece of officiating. That's Tyler Smith. Great piece of officiating. Burnside up and
there
off.
He is.
Hard foul by Abraham Dodier.
He's the guy you forget about.
2 free throws for the balance of this game on every Butler foul for South. There's Burnside for 2.
Well, I thought Adrian Miles did a great job he could have taken a contested shot, but he did a good job of dropping the ball inside the Burnside.
And Burnside, you talked about it, Coach, his skill set, they're really strong for a player his size.
Yeah, he doesn't try to do things he's incapable of doing. And at the high school, sometimes at the collegiate level, we see that. So back to the zone. Little matchup.
Butler got it down to 4, and for the second straight time, it's swelled back to 9.
I like what they're doing. They've stayed in the zone, being a little more responsive to the backside.
Bargello got a big 3 and a Butler timeout. Not sure Bargello was expecting that pass from Adrian Wilder, but he caught it and made it, and that's going to take us to a timeout. There you see Bargello up top, Gary. I'm not sure he was expecting this return pass. We dial it up. It came back on him hot.
Yep.
Big 3.
Well, he caught it relaxed, shot it relaxed. I think I would have probably given him that shot a few more times, but that's being hard-headed.
Take a quick pause. Be right back after this.
Not just blind. Blind to rent, not just blind.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
6-point South Oldham lead. 2:22 left in this fourth quarter. If you just joined us, North Oldham victorious in the earlier matchup. Tonight they defeated Waggener 69-42. Mustangs now 9-6. Waggener fell to 3-8. Is this South Oldham team going to have a difficult schedule ahead as we take a look at what's looming for them? 4 straight road games, including the big one here in a couple of weeks versus Oldham County.
Well, they got to run the county gauntlet. You know, it's always played in January, where the 3 Oldhams will play each other, and little county bragging rights for a week or so.
Take on a very struggling Shelby County team coming up next week.
2-2-1 half-court trap right now. So a little something different. Just about threw that one away.
And right behind Burnside from Adrian Miles.
Adrian getting on Burnside, but Burnside did the right thing. You know, his job was to back cut and go to the basket, and if Miles didn't have it, he's supposed to throw it back out. 2-3 zone, staying in it.
Again, Butler's had it within 4.
Better find where Wilder is.
Twice. There's Jones in the corner, and he's going to float it right off of Miles.
I still think everything centers around Wilder, you know, and he's smart enough. If you overplay him, he'll make other people better too. He doesn't always have to shoot it, but you can use him as a decoy. But when he doesn't have the ball, you better know where he's at.
There's Bargello, great pass underneath, and fortuitously for South Oldham, the foul called on the pass.
Very much so. It's like, oh, of all times.
4th team foul, meaning
Next
Butler.
one.
Yep, Butler inbounds underneath.
A little quick on the buzzer. Jones going to drive it. We know that.
Unfriendly roll as Adrian Miles corrals the rebound. Here comes Julian Miles. And a foul from behind, and Michael Jones didn't like that. The 2 free throws for South at the 132 mark.
Butler getting a little chatty. You know, they need, you know, they've got themselves back into this thing.
Miles, an outstanding foul shooter, 83%. Came into the weekend over 1,500 career points. He's just had a fabulous career, multi-sport career here at South. Two big ones. And now points at a premium here for Butler as they have but 92 seconds to get back.
Whoa. Missed one out front. Let the players decide.
Jones at the elbow. There's Wilder.
Yep, better know where he's at.
Bargello, a crafty take, and he'll head to the foul line. Wilder really been held in check tonight. Averages 14, only a pair of 3-point field goals tonight for 6 points.
Yeah, he got those early, and since then they've done a pretty good job identifying where he's at. But I think that's a tribute to South playing them man-to-man. That way they can stay with Wilder.
And that's a little bit short as
Nice
Waggener.
box out by B.
And now only a minute plus remaining.
You need a flasher in the middle if you're South.
And South finally gets it over the timeline.
If you're South, you want to shoot free throws.
There's Miles on the drive. Got the roll.
Got a roll, but no call. That was kind of interesting. Coach Simpson.
And we're going to have a technical on Julian Miles. As Steve Simpson not at all happy with that.
And he should be, because getting a little chatty, and I know they've had that conversation. Let your play do your talking.
So you've got a 9-point lead, 44 seconds. Butler possession after the free throws. And Wilder, 74% free throw shooter. And Steve Simpson chatting with Julian Miles underneath. So now you've got Butler, only a 7-point deficit.
Got some fans getting into it now.
38 seconds. There's Wilder off a curl. Wilder in the lane. Rims down, and Waggener claims the rebound.
Tough shot, big miss.
And out of bounds, and it's going to stay Butler. Things have really gotten heated here in the last couple of minutes.
Butler's going to drive it to the basket. You can kind of write that down.
There's Bargelot driving. And for the second opportunity, it rattles off in a much-needed basket. Great effort chasing that down by Jayon Hansberry.
Well, you've almost got South playing not to lose, you know.
And South Oldham going to win this when there's going to have been a lid on it for Butler in the last 3 possessions. And South Oldham, winner tonight, 69-62. So the Bears and South Oldham in a heavily contested game tonight in Crestwood. We'll step aside. 69-62, back after this.
Butler will be back in action Wednesday night when they host the Bulldogs in Fairdale High School. Tip-off, 7:30.
You cannot depend on Oliver's parallel parking.
Hey, you got it, man!
But you can always depend on his car starting because he has an Interstate battery. Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what.
Accountants at Kelly King and Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy in Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King and Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware at 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
Line Direct, not just blinds. Line Direct, not just blinds.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilley in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Tonight's post-game recap is brought to you by Crestwood State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilley. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Back to Crestwood. South Oldham victorious 69-62 over Butler. Dragons able to withstand a furious Butler run late in the game. The deficit was reduced from double figures to 4, Gary, on 2 occasions, but the Dragons dug deep and found a way to beat a good team tonight.
Very much so, and you're going to have those runs and give Butler all the credit in the world. They didn't quit. They finally found things to click midway through the fourth quarter, got themselves back to around 3, I think was the closest they got, and South able to hold on and win it.
What was the difference in your estimation in this game?
Well, anytime that you can build a good lead the first half, but sometimes you have to be careful, that's fool's gold. I think Butler just kept on plugging, and as a result, South found a way, and I think that's experience. And they did it without their number one scorer the last minute of the game.
Hey, Julian Miles, without some playing time there in the last couple of minutes with a technical. Tonight's most outstanding players presented by Crestwood State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilley. Leslie, proud to support us on Glycon. We appreciate her so much. If you need home, auto, or life insurance, please give her a call at 502-384-6184. Agent Leslie Gilley, State Farm Insurance. Michael Jones, tonight's MOP for Butler, and he was rock solid for much of this game.
Yeah, he's one of those kids you like to have on your team. There's no quit in him. And, he just kept on plugging, and I think his team fed off of that as well.
Got Jones 17 unofficially. Henrik Bargelot, 14 points unofficially. But the disparity, Gary, in three-point shooting was huge in this game.
Very much so. And, we said after the first half, I thought Butler's outside shooting was very suspect. They made one from the top of the key in the fourth quarter. I think surprised everyone, maybe even the person who shot it. But, South was able to have enough chips in the bank already to survive. And you know what? You have to do that in high school basketball.
Jake Fithian, 22 points in the first half, 6 made three-point field goals. He's tonight's most outstanding player for South, and he really the difference in the game to open up some wide cushion for them.
Very much so, and, we thought there for a minute, would Butler have enough offensive thrust to come back, and they did it in the ways that they normally do. Everything was off the glass or driving it to the basket.
We will take a timeout. We will join you next week. Weather pending. Thank you so much for joining us today, the New Year's Classic on Glycon. Our executive producer has been Steve Bird, Joe O'Million, and Jeff Cooper on camera. For Gary Forrest, I'm Chris LeBar. Good afternoon from Crestwood. You've been watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycon.
From Glycon, this has been Oldham High School's basketball. Tonight's game was brought to you by Oldham County Solid Waste Management, featuring the Waste Wizard search engine. Anderson Sales and Service, a top choice for homeowners and lawn professionals. Kinzer & Kinzer, delivering clean, comfortable air. State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilly. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. German American Bank, serving our community since 1910. LaGrange Service Center, Mortensen Family Dental, Operation Parent, and Financial Solutions Incorporated.
For schedule information about our upcoming broadcasts, visit our website, glicod.com, Facebook and Twitter @Glycod. We thank you for tuning into this live sports presentation